Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Mr. Ryonall.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes.
It is my pleasure to meet you, and I really appreciate
Okay.
the opportunity to have an interview with you. And my name is Muhammad Afan
Okay.
Maulana. I am studying at an IT school called IDN Boarding School, and right now I'm studying about
Okay.
app development and web development. So I
Okay.
heard that you're in Papua, right?
Yes. In West Papua, to be more exact. Yes.
How do you manage to live in Papua?
Well, if you're referring to how I actually get here, I have a project that is ongoing.
Oh,
Currently, it's on at the project over here. So that's how I ended up here. But if you're asking me about how can I survive over here, well, it's just as it is over here, right over here. Okay. So currently I have multiple projects. Before I traveled quite a lot, so currently this is where I am based on the project that I am currently in.
okay. And how does it feel having a showroom over there? Is it like
Uh,
a little
sh-
bit hard
so-
because of the hot weather, I guess?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. What's Sean?
Fasting.
Fasting. Oh, okay. Well, not really because kind of used to it because this is a bit better compared to when I was in the Middle East because of the all the heat and even stuff like 40 degrees and plus. So this is still quite good. And furthermore, the norm of fasting is quite normal for me. So yeah, I don't really get affected by it.
Okay, so I actually looked at your LinkedIn, and in your profile, I
Okay.
see that you studied in SMK Agama Miri. Can you tell us more about it? Like, what do you study over there?
Okay, so SMK Agama Miri is equivalent to the SMA level in Indonesia. So it's just like kind of like my high school right over there. It's a religious high school. So basically, it's leaning more to religious with some also the civil or the common curricular academics that we have in our country. But it's leaning more to actually religious studies as well.
Also, you're not studying IT at SMK Agama Miri.
At that time, no, not really at that time. It was just mainly basic computer, like those offices and stuff like that. Mainly Word, yeah, just basic all those stuff.
Yeah, I also study at SMK.
Okay.
Then I see that you have a lot of certification, like certified ethical hacker. Basically, it's like
Okay.
you learning about the security systems and stuff, right?
That is spot on. That is the way how we interpret it. Exactly.
And is there a problem before you become a hacker? Like, does your parents agree or something else?
Well, there wasn't really much problem because this so-called network security isn't really well known by many. Unfortunately, most people actually knows IT only on the surface. All the technical parts, using mainly as a user or just as a coder. But actually, in terms of security, it's kind of like either a dark or gray area. So no, I don't really have much problems with my intentions taking up the certificate.
So, as a certified ethical hacker, what do you do for your job?
Well, with my current job, it's a little bit of a mixed kind of skill. I am doing partially engineering as well. Okay, engineering, when I say engineering, is more to like all those basic electrical instrument, mechanical, and piping as well. But at the same time, I'm also dealing with system. And when I do system as well, I am also a programmer as well as an administrator. but not only limited to the system itself, I also maintain the server. At the same time, the server themselves, I also do the security in terms of not only building the server, administrating the server, but also securing the server and my system as well.
Mm. How do you achieve that certificate?
Well, due to it was a little bit on a short period of time, I took it by doing some courses. I attend some courses, and then classes as well. And after that, there will be some examination.
And how long does it take to get the certificate?
Well, it depends actually. Either you do self-study, but we have sometimes online courses where if you actually want to do those certificates based on online courses, so you'll take your time based on how fast and how much you could understand the course before you take the exam, because there's not really a time limit. But there are also some courses where there are classes as well. Means that there are some companies that offer courses, meaning from those who actually manage it. So it's still like a normal class, which actually can accelerate in terms of how you can actually speed up in completing the courses. Okay, so when you attend the courses compared to just take the certificates, you might actually learn more because they will be hands-on. There would be classes as well. So in my time, I took by courses, and it took me about, I think, roughly about half a year.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, was it 4 months? I think 4 months, I think. Yeah, roughly about 4 months.
That's just studying or getting the certificate instantly?
Well, it requires studies as well, studying at the same time, courses. And it was not only limited to one certificate, I was taking multiple certificates at the same time.
And what project are you currently doing?
Okay, the current project I'm in is called the Tangguh LNG project. It's actually a liquid natural gas project. Okay, so I am on the completion side where I actually manage the project to ensure that it is being safely handed over to the client.
And I see that you have a digital mobile specialist. What exactly it is?
Okay,
Is
yeah.
it?
Okay, so the term names is a bit rare for the position itself,
Yeah.
but basically I am actually doing a little bit of advancement in terms of our norm way, where when we do our inspection by paper-based, and I'm trying to digitalize it by using actually a tablet instead of just doing the normal or the traditional way of paper-based.
And have you ever teach students about IT?
Yes, I have.
When you're becoming a teacher, how do you prepare the curriculum for your class?
Okay. Actually, I was in university at the time. I became a tutor and also a temporary lecturer. And then I was given a material by the university themselves. Okay. So at the same time, I was also a student, but I was actually offered to become a tutor and also a temporary lecturer over there while being a student as well. It's kind of confusing at times. So they will give me some materials, but at the same time, I would also, based on my experience and my knowledge, actually share with them some extra information based on the related material that was given, excuse me, by the university.
And uh, you're having a job at Petronas, right? Can you tell us what your role in it?
Well, previously I wasn't really directly affiliated with Petronas, but I was a one of the client which actually will be under the Petronas themselves. So I was doing central, no, sorry, it was a project for the offshore project. So I was handling multiple sites, multiple facilities, which were doing the satellites themselves. And when I say satellite, it's not really a satellite above in space, but it's satellite in terms of the place to for you to put the how should I say, a location for offshore at sea, and also the CPP for the central processing platform. It's where they will process all those fluids or material that they receive from offshore.
Okay. From the way you describe about your job in Petronas, I'm thinking that you are a busy person. And as that busy person, do you still have the time to actually have some fun with your family and your other friends?
Well, I would live by a statement saying that if you are a busy person but you can't manage your time well, okay, if you can manage your time well, you become a free person. But if you are a free person and you can't manage your time well, you become a busy person. Yes, even though as a busy person, I always try my best to balance my work life as well. Because all work and no play, they say, makes me a boring person, a sad person. Okay, so yes, I do manage my professional life and my personal life at a separate pace as well. Okay, separate. This means that if I work, I fully concentrate on my work. But if I'm actually with my family, I will go all out in my family. So it will never be mixed. And absolutely, you should realize on actually differentiating both of those areas.
Also, I've noticed that you have a first lieutenant in the Royal Malaysian Watania Army. That's amazing. How did you
Yes.
get it?
Yes, I was in the army before. When I was in university, I volunteered myself to I there for about three. I graduated in 3 years, and I extended my service for another 2 more years. So yeah, so I took it during my uni years, and and my rank is as what you saw in my profile.
Wow.
Too many stuff in my profile.
So, as a military and army, what do you do? Have you been into a war like in the movies?
Well, good things we are in peace times, okay? And I was as a lieutenant at the time. So when I actually graduated from the army, 2 years after that, I graduated from my uni. But then again, we were given a choice whether you want to enroll yourself into the army fully or actually live a life as a civilian, but you will still be linked with the army themselves, which means that if there were any chance or at any time, okay, that we will be called, okay, to serve our country, then I will actually serve my country. But for now, during peace times, I will just live myself as a civilian.
Okay. And what is the reason you become an army?
Okay, the thing is that you would not believe it. The reason why I joined the army at first were, yeah, part of it was I was quite intrigued with weapons, okay, with weapons
Oh,
and some of their tactical knowledge, okay. But then again, at first I was told that if you join the army, when I was in uni, you will have a laundry machine. So during that time, I was so lazy to actually wash my laundry. I joined the army just to wash my laundry, okay.
oh,
But unfortunately, even I graduated from my army, I graduated from my army and also from my university. The laundry machine never came. It never happened. And I waited like for 5 years for my laundry machine. But then again, yes, I was intrigued by the knowledge and also by the weapon that they're given. I was one of the best sharpshooter inside my army
Wow,
years as well.
awesome.
so when you first started the shooting test in the army, have you ever
Mhm.
try it out in a game before?
Oh, well, I did try the game, but it is not really the same. The feeling is the same, especially the physical feeling when you actually touch the gun themselves, okay, the rifle themselves. Because when you play game, yes, I play Counter Strike before. I'm a hardcore gamer as well. So there's no recoil, there's not much wind. It's just absolutely static, digital on the screen. But when you actually hold a gun, there's recoil, there's wind, there's you have to actually aim, you have to do all those, and then there's heat. So there's a lot of factors playing a role to it. The feeling is absolutely different.
Okay, as you are now, do you think if you are given the chance, you can help someone with either your military skills or your IT skills?
Yes, I believe so. I could help someone in either one. It depends on the situation. But currently, my skills in IT could really help a lot of people when it comes to security, especially when it comes to frauds, when it comes to hacks, even viruses, worms, trojans, or even just simple knowledge in actually educating people how to actually protect or defend themselves in a sense of a simple firewall and etc.
Hmm. And after having the EC Council CEH certificate, what do you
Mhm.
expect to come to your life? Like, oh, I got a certificate. I'm hoping that I could do something for other people. Like, what do you expect after getting the certificate?
Well, the first thing, of course, good money and good job. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Okay.
But that is true.
Well, well, the first thing is that when you get those certificates, it actually gives you the knowledge of an area that was not really unknown for some. But then again, what you will do with that certificate, it depends on you. Okay, of course, in the hacking world, there's these the common areas where they have the white hat, there's the gray hat, and there's the black hat. Okay, so it's just like when you learn about a gun. Okay, either you can use the gun to actually kill someone, which is the black hat. Either you can use the gun to actually defend yourself, which is actually a white hat, or you can actually use the gun to actually test it, inform people like, okay, you know what, there's a defect over here, it's dangerous, you should do this, you shouldn't do this. That's where the gray hat hacker comes in. Okay, so basically, for your question, I would use actually my knowledge not only to actually help people, but also for some companies when they're required to do some pen test.
Oh, when you're doing penetration test, what common problem that you find?
Oh, most common is actually plain text password.
Plain text?
Plain text password. That's it. Yeah, plain text password means that a password that is being stored in plain text means that if I actually could extract the password, it will be
Oh,
visible to me without any encryption at all.
also it's not
Okay, so that's we
encrypted,
call
right?
plain text password. Yes. Other than that, of course, some of them are actually insecure connection where you can do some cross-site scripting. Those are most common.
How do you encrypt a password?
Well, they have something called like a salt, okay? A salt method where you can actually take those plain text method and then it would be a one-way encryption, which means that it could not be decrypted again. Okay, it's something like a DLL, a dynamic link library, where the file itself, when you have converted into a DLL, it could not be reverse engineered to become a file that you can actually tamper with or engineer with. When you do a salt method over a plain text, it will be encrypted into a character, maybe about 64 characters, 16 characters, 32 characters, 256. It depends on the algorithm that you're putting in, which could not be actually converted back into a plain text password again.
Mm.
Perfect. You seem to be quite interested into into being a hacker, is it?
Yes. Actually,
Well,
I joined the idea and IT school because I was expecting I could become a hacker.
okay, no worries about it. How old are you, sir?
I'm 16. Well, this June
You
is
are
17.
16, very good. This year 17. I created my first virus when I was 13 years old.
Wow. What program did
Because during
you
my time, you
get the
like,
virus?
uh, okay, during that time, wait, are we still recording?
Yes.
Still
Yeah, yeah.
recording.
You can continue.
Don't worry, we can cut
Well,
this
during
part.
that time, I was the okay, no worries. I can explain to you that when I was 13 years old at that time, I was using Windows 3.1. I
Yeah.
mean 3.1. So there wasn't really many stuff. I started with plain, command prompt. Okay, so if I were to suggest for you to learn something, learn command prompt because every time Windows changes, but command prompt stays the same. This was before PowerShell was introduced. So at that time, we didn't have much antivirus. We have some McAfee, but one of the most popular, I think during that time was penicillin. They call it. Sorry, penicillin. Sorry,
PCC.
it's like
Penicillin.
derived from the word penicillin, so they call it penicillin. So at that time, it was just a method of detecting whether there is it's a virus or not. Okay, so I played around in creating just a simple virus, and then put the back sorry the how do you call file format was to become a .vir. So immediately a simple .vir and then beep 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 beep, just went crazy. Immediately like virus detected, virus detected, virus detected. Okay. So at that time, it gets better and gets better. So VIR is just false positive, and then they start to detect the in terms of the algorithm inside, the code inside, whether so that's where from a virus it becomes a Trojan, it becomes a malware, and so that's just how it goes. So nowadays we have Windows, it's ready. When you got just start Windows. But during my time, we have to search, we have to do some scripting, we have to do some codes during that time.
Wow.
Don't worry, don't worry. Nowadays, they don't really call hacker. It's dangerous. You use hacker. If you go to court, you say hacker, you're going to get charged. But instead, they said competitive intelligence. Okay, when you go, if you work in a company, they will not say you are a hacker. They will say that you are actually doing something called competitive intelligence.
So that is a polite term for hacker, right?
For the white hat.
Correct. Correct. We don't want to call hacker. We're gonna get in trouble.
So, how many programs do you need to actually penetrating test?
Do
Well, to be honest, to to hack is actually easy. Okay, to hack is actually easy. What's hard is actually collecting the information. Okay, collecting the information is very, very hard. It can go from weeks to months to even a year because you need to know what hardware they're using, what software they're using, and then what build that they're using. Okay, version, softwares, everything, etc. The network topology and stuff like that. Actually, there's more to learn over here in terms, but in general, it's something like that. But when it's done, you will know the tools that you will need to actually penetrate it. There are several programs which I will not name here, but yes, either you can even code yourself, you can even script by yourself as well.
Okay, when you're testing penetration, the
Mhm.
the first program you use is what is the first program that you use and for what purpose?
Okay, so it depends again on what are you actually trying to hack here. Either is actually, are you trying to hack something local, just a PC over here, or are you actually trying to do remotely? So it depends. If, for example, if you want to just basically steal some serial keys of a program, okay, then you would just go to the. Sometimes you don't even need a program themselves. Like I said again, some programs have low kind of difficulties. It's just right over there, sitting right over there. So if you actually know the structure of the program, you don't really need even a program itself. For some complex hacking involved, even for like for example over the network, of course you need some network tools as well to actually analyze the network, the point, the pings, the bounds, and etc. Stuff. Then you have to mask yourself. You don't want to get yourself in trouble. As well, it's really have been a while. Okay, it's really have been a while, you know.
So
I'm sure your son going to be a great programmer or competitive intelligence. You know, start by programming. If you know the basic of programming, you can create the world. I would say that if you can do programming, understand the language, you can create the world however you want it to be. You know.
Wow. So if you're still teaching, I hope I can sometimes go to your class.
Well, I don't really teach in class, the proper class anymore. I am doing travels, but once in a while, I would just help some of my friends or anyone who just like do a DM,
Okay.
stuff like that. Yeah, just draw by once in a while. Sometimes I would do updates on my social media as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, the first one, which is really boggles my mind. What would a 16, 17-year-old would be so interested to actually become a hacker?
Actually,
What do you achieve? What do you want it for? What do you expect to outcome from this?
I'm expecting I could hack a game.
Well, actually, it's the same question that when you ask me actually. For example, if you were learn to hack, if you were learn to hack, but what would you do with the knowledge that you have obtained if you could actually learn how to hack?
So I'm hoping in the future I could become a trainer or someone that could give knowledge to others. And I was hoping I could maybe share my experience and also my knowledge to about hacking and IT to the student.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. Yeah, because actually for companies there are a lot of demands, but they don't really have it. It's just off record for you to actually educate and help people because you know there's a lot of scams out there, frauds out there. Okay, so in multiple level and multiple way, that's quite good. That's quite good. But 16, 17, I'm quite surprised that some teenagers were actually being interested in actually to become a hacker. So when did this ambition of yours start that you wanted to be a hacker from?
Actually, it started ever since I known about hacker. I instantly want to be a hacker. I don't remember when I known about hacker. Well, it's a long time ago.
Okay.
So it's been
A long time ago, I see.
yeah.
Okay. Well, what about other parts or other areas of IT did you then other than just hacking? Do you have other areas as well? I don't know, web development, app development, or maybe software development or computational science and areas.
Actually, other than hacking, the second thing I like in IT is actually web development because I think app developing is harder than web.
Okay, partially yes. Partially yes. With the previous technology, I would agree with you with the previous technology, but now they have something called like a hybrid technology. It's where it's not really a native kind of apps, okay, and which you can actually combine the apps and the web at the same time, okay. Because I'm doing that as well, where at times I'm really lazy, so I'm actually create one app which is for the web, for the Android platform and also for the iOS platform at the same time. Yeah, but that's really good, you know. And then if you want to go for that area, you must have high, creativity for that. But it depends. When you say about web, actually there are three areas over here. There's actually the front end, okay,
Yes.
and there's really the back end,
Mm.
okay. So when you have completed both, if you can actually do both, not many will actually go for that, because if you are doing designing web page, mostly UI UX, the UI, the front end, okay. But when you're talking about databases, connections, and all those parts, you are actually working at the back end right over there, okay. But if you can actually do both at the same time, absolutely everything, then you will become something we call a full stack developer.
Oh, that's a full stack developer. Okay.
It you pays good money, very good money actually. With nowadays where apps is actually developing and booming, plus with the current situation is COVID where everything goes online, it is actually booming. You can become a full stack developer. It's not easy, but it may be worth it. Other than you become a hacker, you can pen test your own system.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's good. That's good. I actually encourage, and I'm quite happy to hear that there are more younguns like you to actually involve yourself in IT. And trust me, these times are changing right now. They say that oil and gas were the good ones, but nowadays I can tell you that the oil and gas right now, the new goal right now is actually IT and also data.
Mm.
Data is actually the new key right now. Okay, there's also data science. There's
Oh,
Explorer right over here. Okay, so hackers is just one of it. Okay, it concerns about network security, but in IT it's quite nearly or interrelated and it's quite vast. Okay, so learning about hackers is one thing, but try to also explore other areas. You might actually get interested as well.
What's the example of other areas, like becoming a web developer?
yeah.
Web developer, yeah, because like sometimes when you actually see only one area in general, okay, there's actually like have it broken down into several areas as well. For example, IT, there's also for database management, there's also computational science, there's also software development, there's also for network computing, okay? So some of the new areas are just being introduced, like for example, network security. There's also learning about those apps and also web development. Before it wasn't really stressed out. Okay, so like I myself, my background. I am a multimedia student. Okay, but I am not really that happy with just having that one knowledge. But I believe that it was interrelated. So I learned about database management. I learned about computational science, software development, and then one thing for sure, you must always read and update yourself with the latest technology and also methodology, okay, and the method as well on how you would actually do your work. For example, before you were doing HTML, now there's HTML5, and previously how you were JavaScript were really that popular. Now it's coming back again. Nearly every single most apps right now are using JavaScript, for example. Technologies will keep on changing and changing and changing. New technology will be introduced. So if you were to actually focus only on one areas, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But when you explore other areas, it's just like there's like so many things to for you to actually try. Okay, other than just being a actress.
Mm. Oh yeah. When you're
I would
studying,
encourage to try all those. Test the waters.
those what?
Test the water. I mean,
Test
like
the water.
just in case maybe you might be interested. Like I'm just a multimedia student. But if I were explore other areas, I wouldn't even take the CH certificate. I would try to be a server administrator. Most probably, I would actually keep
Dapat mencoba
myself just doing possibly just multimedia stuff, Photoshop and stuff like that.
mencoba hal baru.
Oh,
Okay.
test the water means trying something new.
Yes, absolutely. It might not be easy, but who knows? Who knows?
So, are you studying IT by yourself, or is there a school that teach you?
Um, well, I started with You will not believe it. I started, of course, with command prompt. I like to read manuals. There's a weird stuff about me. I love to read manuals, so I learned about the command prompt at the time during Windows 3.1. And then after that, I was sent to basic computer class. Like I said again, it was just office class during my high school years. And then after that, I became more serious about it as I uh, progressed in life when I was doing colleges as well. During college, I learned more, mostly self-study because they didn't really provide that. But the full foundation that I really learned about IT that enhances my knowledge was during my uni life, where yes, I took the IT course and also taking certificates. Because there's two ways over here that you can learn. The first one is actually if you're good in academics, go ahead. You can pursue. This is what my dean actually advised me. He noticed that I'm not really good in academic, but doesn't mean that you have to stop there. Okay, this is just for different person. They have different kind of tolerance. Okay, I took until I was in a bachelor degree with honors. Okay, after that, my dean told me that you know what, Ryonall, you are actually more to skills. I can see that because even though I have not really good grades in my studies, yeah, I would have to admit that, but I was really good with my skill. So instead, my lecturer told me that, you know what, why don't you try to take certificates? Okay. So if you're good in academics, go ahead. You can take your masters, you can take your PhDs, go ahead. But there are some people, they are not really good with books, but they are so good with their hands. So they will actually take certificates, and certificates are actually something that would be on par with some of your studies as well. Okay, both are good, but nothing is actually lesser than the other. No, okay, and also it also some of the requirement for not only for jobs, okay, but also for your self improvement inside the IT areas. Yeah, the young ones are should the ones we should actually encourage. You know, the young ones. They will be our next generation. I
Yeah.
really look forward to see what they will become and how they actually improve themselves. You know, not
Yeah.
even a knowledge. No knowledge is always a waste. I will tell you this.
Yeah.
No knowledge is a waste. Every knowledge that you learn will always benefit you. If it's not for you, it's for someone else. So
Mm.
you can always help community and also for yourself. Again, nggak pernah kita bilangin kalau wah I learn something, but this one I don't really interested. Or if I learn this one, it's just gonna waste my time. No, no knowledge is a waste of time, no matter how small it is. Okay, it's still a knowledge. As long as it's a knowledge, then it will always, if not benefit you, it will benefit the people around you. Remember that.
Yes. Great quote from Ryonall.
I'm still learning myself as well. I always remind myself. Masih belajar juga ya mas. Oh, you took note. Okay. Oh, okay, don't apply. Usually, I don't really teach people about hacking, because let them learn the proper channel. Sometimes hacking, as interesting it may be, it can become something destructive as well. If you must learn how to control it as well.
Yeah.
It's just like when you learn something, you could actually defend yourself. Something, make sure, please do not ever misuse it for any kind of reason. Okay, a knowledge is as good as how you apply it. Okay, if you misuse the knowledge, then actually that knowledge goes to waste. Okay, to be honest here. Okay, so make sure how interested you are about hacking. I always advise people, please, please, please use the knowledge to protect yourself, use the knowledge to protect other people, and never ever misuse the knowledge just in case you know about something, regardless how you feel, how you experience in life. Never ever misuse it. That's why I don't really teach people how to hack anymore. I could actually just guide them how to legally protect themselves, but
Yeah.
I will not teach people actually how to hack.
Do you have any other
Why am I
quotes?
seeing only like one part of the face? Sorry?
Do you have any other quotes?
Oh, well, Well, so far it depends on the situation. That's it. Just prefer come to my moments right over here. There's more, but it just comes and goes just like that. Okay.
Yeah.
But those two are actually related to for you to actually when you want to obtain knowledge. Okay. Life is a learning process. It's one of it. You know.
Mm.
All right. So anyway,
Yeah.
I think I need to get ready to go back to my office.
Yeah. Really thank you and appreciate for this moment you spend with us. So hope you well.
Doing well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay then.
You're most welcome. Pleasure's all mine. Okay.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.
Looking forward. Okay, looking forward. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.